So thoughts, negative thoughts that arise, sometimes they only last momentarily, and then other ones linger. And the ones that are reoccurring and the ones that you are presently experiencing right now can be released. And it can feel strange to tap on thoughts because we're so invested in our thoughts. But the truth of it is, sometimes they're an illusion and they're not serving you. So if you release these negative thoughts, then it allows space for a different perspective, which is hugely beneficial if you can't change your situation, or if the thought is making you feel trapped, or if it's putting you in a negative space. It needs to be shifted in order for you to find that perspective that makes you happy and makes you see the world in a better light, or see your situation in a better light. So it's important that you get used to releasing these negative thoughts with EFT. Sometimes it's just a thought, and sometimes there's a really good reason why you're thinking that. It's like a story or a movie that we cycle in our minds. When you're releasing a negative thought, it's important to include the reason for thinking what you're thinking with the EFT sentence, so that you can remove all aspects of that thought pattern or that negative thought. For example, you may be having these negative thoughts similar to the cartoon picture we've got going on here. A lady wondering whether her partner who works with her is just a client, or whether they're getting a bit more friendly than just being a client. And these sorts of negative thoughts that go on in our heads can what make us feel anxious from time to time. And if we treat these negative thoughts and we shift them, then we remove ourselves from any influence over those thought patterns, having an influence on our partners and possibly enabling this process of being cheated on to happen, because we're continuously thinking about it or having anxiety about it. Now, in Ayurveda and with the law of attraction, what we think about can very well eventuate if we keep thinking the same thing over and over again. It's like telling the universe you want this thing to happen, even though that's not why we're doing it. But that is the law of attraction. So whatever we're thinking or whatever we're focusing on is what we'll attract. That's why you could have an influence with your anxiety over someone cheating or anything at all that's going on. You could have an influence just by thinking about it. Now, that's a pretty scary thought, but at least we have EFT to help us remove these negative thoughts, so that we remove our own influence from these things happening.